I don't know that I can think of a more satisfying way to spend my night than to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning and watch Star Wars. It's so awesome. And Ahsoka has been, for me, hitting in all the right places. It's been a really cool ride to see the evolution of this character over its lifespan from the tiny little, Padawan, and even going back further, you get to see her as an infant in the most recent Tales of the Jedi anthology that Filoni did. So, for those of us who have a deep love for this character and who appreciate all the iterations that we've seen of her on screen, this show is like a dream come true. And it's Star Wars firing on all cylinders, and it's just a hell of a good ride. This is an action-packed episode. We got a big confrontation finally, which we knew was coming because it was in the press, and we've seen images plastered across all the major outlets for weeks and months now. No spoilers here at the moment, but I do a full review of the show. So if you don't want things spoiled, this is your only warning to walk away and not have things spoiled. You have been forewarned. If you like my review today, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. I watch lots of other shows beyond just this one. So check out all the other playlists. We do daily streams at 11 a.m. Central Time, playing all the games that we love. And don't forget to check out the Discord. Links are down below. Without further ado, countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, and we are here. So spoiler territory now. Um, the big thing in this one is confrontation on multiple fronts. So the underlying theme is that this is the final preparation for the jump to hyperspace from one galaxy to another in the big, super ring that the bad guys have built. And there's a countdown that happens where they need to transfer the coordinates from the star map up to the ship. And that's what's going on in the background. So that's the kind of, it's not an invisible clock, but it is the clock against which everything else is racing. So stranded on the surface, Ahsoka and um, Sabine need to go out and face Balin and his apprentice, and their mercenaries and everything else, because their ship is down and they've got to stop this from happening. Now Ahsoka is giving this huge speech to Sabine about how, are you going to be able to do what needs to be done when the time comes? Because if push comes to shove, we cannot let them bring Thrawn back, and we have to destroy the map if necessary, even if that means stranding Ezra. And Sabine is very resistant to this. They also use the Heir to the Empire line again here, which unfortunately, as much love as I have for Filoni, I am going to call this one out and say I feel like at this point they're pushing that a little too hard. Those and the new generation of Star Wars fans might not know that, but for someone like me who read the Thrawn novels and everything else, it was cool the first time they mentioned Heir to the Empire. It was like, yeah, throwback to the legends. But now it just feels like that's just a line they're throwing out there to like do fan service, and I'm not a fan of fan service. I'm not a fan of showrunners, throwing in too many things that are blatantly like trying to hook you, right? It's like, it's cool to give us Easter eggs and stuff, but it should never feel over, heavy-handed. And it felt a little heavy-handed here to be like Heir to the Empire, and it's like, come on now. Are we also going to see Mara Jade and telling Card, and it's like personal thing. It doesn't take away from my enjoyment of this episode at all. Um, there is a confrontation in the forest between Ahsoka and the masked Inquisitor and Sabine and the Balin's apprentice. And I think many people, and Sam Witwer did confirm on social media that he is in fact involved with Ahsoka, but he can't say in what way. Everybody suspects that he's the Inquisitor and that it's somehow Starkiller or something. He could just be here because Dave Filoni likes to throw in, Easter eggs for the fans, and he may have brought Sam in to just do that bit role. Can't confirm that that was him in that suit, but Ahsoka does defeat the character, and when she does so, slashes him across the midsection, and he kind of staggers for a moment, and then there's this horrible gasping sound, and all of this like smoke and energy just whoops out, and it just kind of collapses. So it was like there was an essence inside that was being held in there, and now it's gone. Very interesting. Um, there are two major lightsaber battles that happen beyond that one. One is between Sabine and Balin's apprentice, and I would say this one was very reminiscent of like the Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back lightsaber sequences. It felt much more rudimentary, um, and I it's either one of two things. They were either purposefully making it more rudimentary to show that neither one of these characters have, you know, perfect lightsaber skills, um, or it was done in a way to just throw back to those time period pieces. Um, or maybe it's just the style that she's been trained in. Um, Balin's apprentice, that is. But I really liked it. It was slower, but very cool. And then we got a big lightsaber sequence with Balin and Ahsoka, during which he defeats her and punts her off the cliff. It's like yeet. And of course they, make the countdown. Balin, um, as he's staring off the cliff where he just yeeted Sabine, manages to convince, and this is where I was literally thinking the whole time of like my character in Baldur's Gate 3 or my character in Starfield. Whereas like I always take persuasion points because I want to be able to win conversations. So I'm a big fan of making sure that no matter the build I have, it could be a fighter build, it could be a ranger build, it doesn't matter. I will put points into persuasion even if I don't have like max charisma because I want to be able to win those conversations to be able to convince people in times of need. And Balin has that. He has that ability, and he's able to convince Sabine to stand down, give him the map, you know, and I'll help you find your friend. I promise you. Like, and he's legitimate. He's like, I will take you to your friend. I will, you know, bring you to Ezra, and I promise that no harm will come to you while you're under my care. So and he's truthful. Um, there's also a brilliant moment here. I like his character more and more and more before the confrontation happens, um, when the Night Sister is going up to the big ring and she tells Balin, kill these two and etc. And he's like, yeah, yeah. And she says, is that a note of fear I hear in your voice? And this is the second or third time she's goaded him about being fearful. And I like his one word response. He's like, experience. And it's just like, he knows that Ahsoka is someone to be feared. He also doesn't want to needlessly lose life. And I thought it was very poignant here that during the confrontation between these two, he only defended. Quick commercial break, everyone, to give a shout out to our first official guild officer, Bubalonia, as well as all of the guild champions, and of course, all of the members who help keep me on the air full time. To join as a member, simply click that join button below and pick your tier, but you can also support with super chats on any live stream or premiere, or super thanks on any upload or YouTube short. Don't forget the Discord. Let's get back to the video. Right? All the way up until Ahsoka um, during the middle of the fight, I guess I should bring this up. During the middle of the fight, um, right after it doesn't really matter here, but the apprentice returns. Not because Sabine's dead, but because she ghosted out and like ran from Sabine. But Ahsoka doesn't know that, and so there's a moment where she sees the apprentice running in, and she loses her cool and like force pulls the apprentice off to the side. That is the only time that Balin goes on the attack. Everything else is him defending. He literally stands there in front of the star map and just passively, just very stoic until Ahsoka attacks. Like he is just, I'm gonna defend. And during the confrontation, he gives her this line of, "It's so sad. The only thing you know how to do is destroy." And he keeps poking her about how the Order, it's brainwashed you. And he's not wrong to some degree, but that's the power of his persuasion. It's it's very cool. His character is probably one of the coolest Star Wars characters I've seen in a long time. I don't normally root for the bad guys, but I'm kind of like, oh, man, I get where he's coming from. Like, he lost his faith. He went through the fall. He survived. dude, this dude has seen some shit, and where he is right now as a character is very fascinating to me from a writer's standpoint. Um, anyway, he destroys the map after all this is done with his lightsaber so that no one can follow them. They go off into space, and they, of course, complete the jump and jump off. The same time all this is going on, Hera disobeys orders, takes five X-wing pilots, including our friend the Ranger. I can't remember his name right now. Carson, I think it's Carson. Um, and they come in and they get there right as this giant hyperspace ring is jumping off into space, and the the shockwave like blows up three of the X-wings, and only her and Carson and one other person survive. And her kid's like, "Mommy, I don't feel so good. I feel like something bad's about to happen. I feel wrong." And Hera just kind of looks on in silence because they know now that this, Thrawn's coming back. So, um, very good episode. The very, very end shot is Ahsoka waking up in some sort of, it's either a dream or another dimension, or somehow she got ported, but she's in some sort of weird space on like a light bridge surrounded by symbols and stars, and she hears a voice and she tries to clear her head and she hears it again and it's Anakin, and she turns around and we've got Hayden Christensen back as the Anakin from the show, in a sense, with the hair and um, very well done. I am. It was good. It felt very, very good. So again, I think for me, another 10 out of 10 episode. I really, really enjoyed it. I think that overall, I did nitpick a couple things, but that just because I have a couple of things that I'll nitpick on does not take away from me enjoying something. So a 10 out of 10. I'm on board. I'm ride or die at this point with Filoni. So take me to the end, sir. You've got me. By the short and curlies, I'm all in at this point. So can't wait to see where this goes. We got a few episodes left, of course, but I can't wait. Love to hear your thoughts. Drop them down below. Like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. Stay tuned, everybody. May the force be with you. Till next time.